as a new coach, what is something important for them to pay attention to when they're on that sideline for the first time and the game moving really fast and them, I'll toss it. Ed, what is two pieces? Practice and game for a beginner coach.
For beginner coach and practice, make sure you're teaching the principles of defense. Period.
That part.
When things get sticky, you got to know that you got to be able to just get a stop and do what you need to do. Offensively, I don't care what level you at. When you're a newbie, kids are going to test you as far as them being them. You're going to always hear, I need to be me. I can score this way. I can do it this way. Right? But if you got to have some type of foundation, so you start from ground up, which is defense. On that sideline, if you're a newbie, you got to make sure that you're able to control your emotions. Because those kids are looking at you. They're testing you at that moment to see what you're made of, to see how their leader is going to move and operate, and they're going off of your energy as their leader. So if you over there and you're new to it,
you don't know.
You don't know, right?
Yeah.
But that just come back down to you being you. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be out here, yelling and screaming, you ain't going to have a team long at that new stage.
Yeah.
It take time to be able to scream and yell. You got to put in some years.
Nah, you say that, it makes me think about that time that Jordan was talking about. They played New Jersey. He's like, man, I wanted to beat them because Calipari's over there just yelling for no damn reason. Like, bro, we pros. They pros. Like, you ain't got to coach every possession. But, yeah, you're right. Like, you have to control them emotions. I think that's the first and foremost for me.
Absolutely.
It's like, getting into it, the first thing you're going to feel like is that your emotion is going to affect the game to your favor.
There you go.
And it's not. Like you say, your kids are going to feed off that. And especially talking about babies, they're literally your sheep. You know what I mean? You're guiding them, and how you guide yourself and move yourself is how they're going to respond as well. So be on that sideline. I say first and foremost, you got to know who you are as a coach. You got to know who you are as far as philosophy-wise, and that has to begin with defense. Like you say, please don't go out there playing 2-3 zone. Please don't. Because if you go in that circuit playing 2-3, you're going to get exposed quick. But, like, literally go into it with a plan. Like, understand that, whatever age you have, nothing can trump teaching kids how to play defense. I don't care if they 2. You can use 2. You can teach a 2-year-old to slide, put his hands up, and box out. He'd do that every single time. He don't know nothing else.
The fundamentals.
So that should be the basis of everything you do. Yeah. From there, it's like, your philosophy for us offensively. If you don't have one, a simple set of just moving the ball, being unselfish, off ball movement, drive and kick. But that's, a little bit more advanced. But for the most part, have a philosophy of defensive. You can figure everything else. I mean, really, if you go back to the younger ages, the team that won, the team that can defend.
That's it.
Defend and make layups.
That's it.
If you can defend, pass, and make layups.
At 8, 9, and 10, right?
If your team can pitch, kick, bounce pass,
and run,
layup, and run,
easy basketball.
Easy basketball.
So, something as y'all are kind of talking through the game a little bit. It's something that you said that kind of stuck out to me earlier, and I guess probably this would be a time before we kind of segue a little bit to bring it up and get you to kind of expound a little bit more on it. So you said that you don't really, or I don't know if you don't still study or if you didn't study. Something that you hear a lot when people speak about you and kind of like your coaching ilk and on the sideline, they be like, Ed make adjustments.
Yeah.
So like if you've seen you coach before, like you throw a lot out there.
Yeah.
From like different defenses to different offensive sets. Like how you attack certain moments.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Was that just having like a really strong coaching as a player? Yeah, I don't know. Like I want you to without having to give all the
I'm gonna give
all the
it.
gems away. Okay.
I'm gonna give it.
Okay. Give it out.
I'm gonna give it because at the end of the day,
somebody might need it.
Somebody might need it, right? But they not gonna be able to. And I'm saying this in a humble manner, right? I'm gonna give it all because
they can't duplicate it.
You ain't me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never studied nothing inside this. I don't really pay attention to what other coaches do. I don't really study film. Like just a few minutes ago when you was like, I'm gonna give you these questions, it would have messed me up. So I'm one of those ones.
Gotcha.
Like if you give me something and be like, oh yeah, I need you to watch this or do this, that ain't.
So for in the sense that I mean for you then it's more about
the feel,
being who you are,
being who I am,
and motherfuckers having to adjust to your ass.
That's it. So like
that's what's up.
So when I'm in a game, I don't watch. So like when you get to the high school level, film study is important, right? I personally don't watch it. My assistant coaches do all the film study and they get a scouting report to the kids.
Okay.
Right. Sometimes I don't even go into the scouting report in the meetings and listen to it because when I get to a game,
I want to trust your eyes.
I want to trust my eyes. I want to trust my gut.
Yeah.
That's how I've always been as an individual, though.
That's dope, though.
You see what I'm saying? So when I go in a game, I watch how how he looking at my kids in warm ups. I know if he gonna do what he gonna do, and it's all chess from there, right? So I make my adjustments off of whatever move you make twice. I don't really the first move be a false move for me.
Yeah,
but I'm able to see that. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to see how you throw things out. I'm able to hear what you're doing. That's the only time that I really pay attention to somebody else because I'm so in tune with me and my intuitions. And again, yeah, and I know y'all been hearing me say this throughout the podcast, but it's just something that God blessed me with.
Yeah,
right. And I'm a firm believer in that.
No, for sure.
Because, bro, if you look down to it, I don't watch YouTube videos. I don't talk to a lot of guys about coaching because what you may feel ain't what I feel. And if I use what you give me, it ain't gonna work for me because it's for you.
Oh, I said that shit. Remember we was talking about that, about the whole train on the sideline that was trying to tell me about a player in the middle.
I watched that.
You were there, and you felt everything. Bro was like, I feel you, bro.
Yeah,
like yo, like don't do that shit. Like, bro, like even me and him being peers on the same organization.
Yeah,
I could tell he may want to say something about, but it was like, nah, bro, do what he do. I do what I do, and I know he's training to do what they do.
That's it.
You know what I mean? You putting this monkey wrench in the shit ain't gonna work for us, and because you see it that way.
And it's just about like people sometimes tell you information for you to fail.
That part,
you know, and that comes from just my foundation on just life, right?
Yeah.
So, bro, I'm just I just get it. And I ain't even trying to be cocky or nothing. You know, that ain't me, right? But I just get it. And it just come with experience of just me being in my own parameter, me being in my own box. I trust my box. I trust my work. I trust, you know what I'm saying, kind of my investments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I pour into myself, but I don't even, I'm going to give you some truth. I don't even really like basketball. You know
I've heard you say that before.
Yeah, I've heard that before too.
Yeah, people like, what do you mean? Like, man, I don't watch basketball. Only time I watch basketball is during March Madness.
Yeah, the best time to watch
or you know, the finals.
Yeah.
I'm a football guy. Like I go to a regular season football game. Panthers might be 0-16.
I'm not with you, bro. I don't give a damn.
Right? But again, I know it's about the balance.
Yeah.
Because I'm into basketball so much. Like it's hard for me to go to high school games. It's hard for me to go to middle school games.
Sit beside him.
We're gonna build up to that.
Okay, we get to that.
So yeah. I guess one thing which could be spoken of would be like you have like a coaching tree.
Yeah.
Like you've been in it long too, yeah. So you have a coaching tree. To where like there was a time with Ryan Academy, I was up under your coaching tree. And it was like, for example, you told all the coaches you kind of should treat practice like 4 quarters.
Absolutely.
And like that's the philosophy that you have when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
To where you ain't got to give out like all your secrets.
You want me to speak on the 4 quarters?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead. Get to it. Yeah. That'll probably
that's where it's at though.
All right. Yeah. So what I do is we tell kids all the time you got to train for the game.
Yeah.
Right. Us as coaches, we got to prepare for the game. So when you go in practice, for me, right, I'm going to give you game scenarios. I'm going to give you game structure. I'm going to give you game environment. So I know right now in the high school parameter things, right, it's 4 quarters. So I break everything down into 4 quarters. So we go 2 hours and everything's in 30-minute segments.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, I start the first quarter off of my practice with the toughest situation, which is always conditioning.
Yeah.
Right? Break you. And then the second quarter, we typically go offense because now you're fatigued. So we go 30 minutes of that.
So
we go skill development, shooting while you're
handling the ball while you're tired, making decisions while you're tired.
Yep. Yeah. And then we get a halftime. Then when you come back out, we go defense. All right. So you go slides, whatever defensive principle I want to preach that day, or what kind of we kind of want to see, what we want to hone in on. And then the last quarter is broken down into 15-minute segments. The first 15 minutes is typically back more like the shell development.
Yeah.
Defensive minded, right? And then the last 15 is situations to try to hone in everything you're trying to do.
Drills here, 3 minute down, you up 5, down 7, up 4,
And there go your 4 quarters.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's always been something that I've done. You know what I'm saying? It shows preparation, it shows planning, it shows, structure, it shows foundation, man. And it makes my kids better.
Yeah. No, I dig that.
I'm gonna try and throw this question in for Trey. Trey, it's one of our guys. He's not.
God.
Yeah, he wasn't able to make it today.
It would have been a monkey wrench in this moment.
Oh my God,
if he was here.
Yeah. He said, his daughter was ill, so get well, shorty. But I remember so Trey was the first guy that told me about you. And I remember when he was speaking about you, he said that. I just like sitting in and watching Ed practices. And there's certain things that he sees that I don't see yet.
Yeah.
And that could be like the second rotation in the shell, that XYZ. And, as a beginning coach, the game moves so fast. So that you don't, it's like, damn, how's he seeing that?
Yeah.
Or, I ain't going to give away all your secrets, but he was talking about certain ways you kind of disguise defenses and different things like that. Where did you get some of with Make it almost clickbaity. Where'd you get those eyes? The eyes to be able to see that, the eyes or the mind to be able to kind of really be a defensive mind. I know you said that you don't really watch the game like that, don't overly study.
Yeah. It just come from.
Is it like an experience thing? You really kind of.
I mean, so I remember I spoke to y'all about situations before basketball. It just my intuition and kind of observance. And so when I got to the basketball side of things, it just I'm always aware about what's next. That's how I live life. If we talking about right now, you get what I'm saying? We gonna fail because we already in the moment.
Yeah.
So when I teach the game, when I see the game, I always try to. Okay, well, if we do this right here, what's next? And I got to be able to help these kids understand what's next. So I always show them you gotta be prepared for the next situation. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're worrying about the situation that's in front of you, we're gonna fail because you're never gonna get to the next, second, and third situation. So it's just something that, again, man, it just come with me just being inside the game, me being a student of the game as in live moment. I'm real big on that. And I just get it, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of, a lot of people be intrigued with that.
Yeah. So I guess another question as we start kind of like I said, baby steps, we're going to continue kind of walking through. Because again, you do wear a bunch of different hats, and program director, coach, dad, trainer. And it all blends to make who Ed Cook is. So yeah, I guess this is something that a lot of kids, a lot of parents is going to want to know. Same with you. You on the girl side of it, but they're going to want to know. Tryouts.
Yep.
Right now, this is, especially if we're talking about high school, circuit ball, EYBL, 3SSB, Under Armour, New Balance, Puma, whoever you decide to be with. March is, a lot of it is tryout season. For them kids, it's not handpicked, and they're wanting to know, what does it look like? And even more for you, because you coach amazingly, high school, middle school,
and the babies.
So you have tryouts on all different levels, and I imagine you're looking for different things. So for both of y'all, evaluating talent.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are y'all looking for inside tryouts?
So it's levels to everything, right?
Yeah.
So let's speak on the high school level first.
Okay.
And I'm real transparent and honest about it.
You should be.
Because a lot of people are not. They'll tell you, oh, we're going to have trials and we're really looking for such and such and such a trial at the high school level. They're lying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the high school level, you handpicking your kids because it's money involved.
And your job is on the line.
And your job's on the line.
Yeah. And reputation as a coach.
You saying that you going to just hold a tryout and it's going to be 70 kids and you're going to pick 8 out of that, that's not truthful. No. So let me make that clear.
You may pick 2.
And they didn't summer ball, fall ball.
Might.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You already know what you're doing because you didn't been outside looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you get to that phase, you'll have a tryout for community purposes.
Because you have to.
Because you have to for the brand.
Yeah.
Right? But really, like when I get to my high school trials, man, I already probably got 8 kids that is already with me.
Sold up.
Because you got to ride with kids that you trust. Mm-hmm. Because when you go on these jungle, I call them jungle trips.
Yes, sir.
Because it is treacherous out there. You know, you got to be knowing that you got some guys is with you that you can trust, and you'll say something to you and they won't break with you emotionally.
In the moment.
Yeah. So you'll have a tryout and you might find a diamond in the rough, right? Mm-hmm. So one thing I'm big on is I like to help everybody. You know, so I might have a tryout and it won't even be for me. Yeah. It'll be for y'all got a situation, right?
Yeah.
Me and Trey talk all the time about this. Like, he'll hit me like, bro, whatever you don't need, send my way.
No, Trey big on that shit. Like,
right?
Hey,
and I'm real about that.
Like, and he's real about it too. He's like, yo, whoever can't fit, yo.
Real.
But the fact that they even came out to put some on a level where they can actually, he can mess with them.
Absolutely.
So in a sense, I'm all for it as well. Like we talked about it before. It's like, it should be hand in hand like that.
Yeah.
We should be able as a conglomerate of coaches, programs, whatever we're doing, putting the kids first and understanding like, yo, I had a whole bunch of kids come out. I already got my 9.
It ain't like
but
that.
I got 2 more right here that would be perfect for you.
People don't think like that, Wayne.
They don't. And it's sad. It's sad because it's more so a personal thing, not necessarily a kid thing.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't I not send something to you? Why? I mean, people call me all the time. Like I feel like I should be getting paid for as much consulting I do. And
you should.
But I'm an advocate for the kids, though.
That's all it's about.
I'm all about finding the avenue for a kid that benefits them to be the best. Like a parent to call me, hey, coach, we that ain't your avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And be honest with you. He's not going to develop.
And it go back to the levels, though. Like, so at the high school level, that's how we operate. At the middle school level, I like to have a tryout because I know that I want to get a kid that I'm able to develop for 2 years to go into the next. Now, what's been tricky for me over the last couple of years is I've been getting my middle school kids at 6th grade and they've been staying with me because we've been successful. Like, I kind of been running middle school basketball for
shout out 2028. You didn't have a run.
2028 squad was probably the best middle school team around in a while.
No, they was
tough. I got my 29 group, right?
That little group tough too, though.
Tough, man.
They tough.
And people be like that group. People be like, oh, you think they're gonna be better than 28? And I was like, we're in different areas. Like I got 10 kids right now that's on my 29 team that really compete on the defensive end. My 28 team just was gifted as far as the IQ of the game and knowing when to turn it on and when not to turn it on. And they kind of the flaw about them was they got bored a lot because teams was never really in the game. But that's my fault as a coach. Go back to the preparation, not preparing them for games like that, right? So that's how we do.
And it's hard to though. It's hard to prepare for a 40-point win.
Yeah.
Knowing that in a sense we should really win by 70, but I got respect for the game and respect for that coach. Like
there you go.
I want to keep coaching my kids so they don't lose that edge.
There you go.
But at the same time, I have respect for you.
There you go.
I respect for the game because I don't want to be on the flip side because we all know.
Yeah, how it go.
As much as we may win, that thing can easily flip on your head.
So I know that, right?
Yeah.
It might not be with that group.
It might not be with that group, but I'm just saying
it might be with another group.
We just saying in our coaching prowess with it. We don't have moments where it don't flip on his head. We're like, shit.
Yeah. And I like it's just a respect that you gotta have for your partner, no matter how much competition is on the table, right?
Yes,
you just gotta respect it. So I respect it. And then with the 3rd grade, man, I take any kid.
Yeah.
Because I want to have kids in the gym.
Them little dudes tough though.
That I can, you know what I'm saying? That I can groom, that I can love on, man.
And that's what it's about.
That's what it's about.
At that age, it's about loving.
It's about the balance, man.
Yeah,
and, you know, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Going into this year, coaching the third grade group, is my first year going back down that far in a while.
Yeah.
And I had to like readjust my mentality a little bit on how I was dealing with them, because I still was dealing with them how I was dealing with my middle school, high school kids, right? Made a mistake with that.
I want to do it, bro. I want to drop back down to the babies and just see if I can still do it like at that age, bro.
It's fun.
So I really do,
it
man.
keeps me balanced. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like once mine is kind of off and going, I think I may do that, bro. Because I feel like it's a certain kind of love and just prowess that go into the game at that age right there,
it's
bro.
A different feel.
I was watching them play at Rock Hill, bro, and I was enjoying. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
We thought our kids at that age was the shit.
Yeah.
You know, from my eyes. From my eyes, it's like, yo, this is the big game for them. It's fourth, third, look crowd and shit. Didn't realize the big boys playing around because that shit didn't matter to us.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like now you got the older kids, you go back and watch the baby. He's like, yo, damn, my kids was that small.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you what's pretty dope about my situation is because I got my hands on it all. My older kids come back and show them love, and my babies love that.
Nah,
that's bro.
You know that's the best when the big
sit,
bros come and sit on the bench.
They sit on the floor.
Or sit on the floor right there. They're behind the bench. Oh, man, that's love.
It's all love, man. So, man, my third grade group is getting better and better, man. They tough.
That's Lil B in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Lil B. Hey,
he tough.
Hey, they had the little interview, bro.
Tough.
I felt so. I was sitting beside, bro. I said, bro, it's okay to smile, bro.
Yeah, he tough.
Because he in the middle of playoffs.
So he gotta be focused.
I said, bro, you a dad right now, nigga. Smile, bro.
Yeah.
Enjoy this moment, bro.
They go back to what I was saying, right?
Yeah.
His dad is a coach.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He ain't called me not one day. He come to practice. He sit on the sideline. He don't say nothing.
Chilling.
He just understand what's going on.
Respect the game, bro.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I respect him for that because, you know, he a high school coach. And so
he could easily, want to tiptoe.
He don't do none of that. Half the time he don't even come.
Yeah.
You know,
but that's probably because of that. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm staying out the way, bro.
I get it.